Hello students, welcome to the Digital Pathshala KML. In this video we are going to talk about one of the interesting poem, and the poem name is Imagination. We all know this thing, that how broad this thing is. Imagination is such a power, it is a creation of the mind. We can develop anything whatever we are thinking. It does not have any boundary, so that if we are talking about any dream, so it can be possible that we can think up to the large extent as much as possible. So a number of times it happens in our life that we think so many things. So whenever we have a desire to think about a particular incident, to become a particular person, or to be in a particular place, so we can think in any way as we desire. So now come to this, that who has written this poem. So this poem is written by George Bernard Shaw. So he is a French poet, playwright. So he was born in France in 1856, and he got a Nobel Prize for Literature in 1925, and he had written so many poems, almost 60 poems were written by him. So there are some of the great awards which were given to him also. So one of them is the Nobel Prize. But apart from this, that his play, that is Pygmalion, so there was a movie which was made on this, and it got an Oscar award. So he played an important role in many spheres of life also, because he is a radical person. So radical means that if somebody who takes a very authentic point of view, and he is very straightforward person, so that person is considered radical. Now come to this, that what he has given in this poem, so what he wants to say. So we have to just come to this. So if you have not subscribed this channel, so please subscribe this channel by clicking on the red icon button. Now starts this video. So I used to play at pirates and sail the seven seas. Then I was a cowboy. These simple things did me please. So you can look in this, that what the author is thinking, that it is an imagination, it is not in reality. So in imagination we can go anywhere. So he is thinking that now he is playing as a pirate. So pirates are those persons that who do robbing, and these are the robbing by the ship. So we can say that samundri lutere, so that they are sailing. So these ships are sailing across the seven seas. So we all know there are the different seas which are existed in this world. So some are very large, like Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. So that he is roaming over all seas. Then I was a cowboy. So cowboy is that boy, so who just take care of the cattles, like goats, sheep, and buffaloes, cows. So the person who is very responsible to take care of these things, so that he is going with them, so that cattle can graze anywhere. So these are the interesting tasks which somebody does in his life, but these are not existed nowadays. So these are only possible in those tribal areas which are not modernized. So it is a story which was written in the ancient time. So at that time, that mostly people used to do this kind of things. So these things gave them pleasure. So that poet is also getting some happiness because of it. So I had a vivid imagination. So vivid imagination means that there's a clear imagination, that there is no doubt, there is no blur in the thinking. Adventure was always on my mind. So there are so many people, those who like adventurous things, so they always engage themselves in the adventurous things like skydiving. So author is also doing such kind of things, so that whatever the thing which is very dangerous and it gives a very interesting thing, and it gives them joy, so it is a very risky thing also, but the person gets happiness if he does that thing. So I discovered the joy of reading and escaped the daily grind. So there are so many persons that who like to read books. So there are so many books which are read by some of the people, and they get some inspirations from them also, and they have their habit that they read almost every day. So this is one of the way that person can just escape the daily grind. So there are so many boredom or situations which person face in his life. So person tries to escape them, try to just move away from them. So they engage himself or themselves in different tasks. So that person have their hobbies, so they used to pass their time by engaging themselves in different tasks. So once I lived with the Eskimos in the land of ice and snow, went hunting and fishing. So Eskimos are those people who live in an Arctic region, or we can say those areas which are in polar regions which are very cold. So they wear a particular garment there so that they can protect themselves there. So what they are doing, so that they are just doing fishing and the hunting in the land of ice and the snow. So Eskimos are where there is a ice, so everywhere that you will get an ice, so there is no water there because the temperature is in negative, or we can say in a minus. So they are engaging, or the poet is engaging himself in the hunting and the fishing. My fantasy was all aglow. So what the poet is telling here, that it is the imagination that I have gone to my best in my imagination. So then after this, that what he is thinking, that I read a book of Jules Verne and went off to the moon. It was just to take a look, then it was time to return. So firstly we have to understand that who is Jules Verne. So Jules Verne is one of the person who is an explorer, and then he has written some of the stories also, and some are very famous. So like the journey to the center of the earth, around the world in 80 days. So these are the adventurous novels which are written by the Jules Verne. So that poet is reading the book of Jules Verne, and then he has gone to the moon. So where he looks there, that it was a time to return. So that now he's thinking that it is uh, too long to stay here. So now time has come to go back. So I spent time in the forest of Africa with Dr. Livingstone as my guide. So we all know this thing, that whenever we reach any place which is new for us, so we hire sometimes a guide, because guide knows all things about that place and he can give us a vivid description of that area. So Dr. Livingstone is such a person, so who is an explorer in Africa. So he knows so much about that region. So that poet is spending so much time with that person so that he can get to know about the forest of Africa, that what are the different things which are in this forest, and that what are the advantages or disadvantages which are of this forest. Then off again to America. Then he is just coming back to the America, and with Huckleberry Finn I did hide. So Huckleberry Finn, it is one of the imaginary, the character which is created by the Tom Sawyer in his novel, and then he is hiding that Huckleberry Finn in my world of fantasy and the imagination. So that fantasy and imagination, that the word which is not real, so it is an creation of a mind, so that everything is just unreal. So I perform such wonderful deeds. So you can look in this, that there are the different things which that poet has done in this, that he has performed the role of the pirates also, cowboy also, and then he is visiting the forest also, and he is with the Huckleberry Finn also. So and he is reading books also. These are the different activities which he is doing, and these are giving so much happiness to this poet. A hero of all the nation, I was one that did succeed. So it means that I have visited so many places, even the sea also. So these are the seven seas which I have just move over them, and these are the things which makes me happy, that I have succeeded in my task, or the goal which I had. Now thereafter, then I grew up, my childish world at an end. So it happens with everyone that when they are in their childhood, so that many things comes in their mind, and there are so many questions which are developed by themselves. So it is the curiosity which comes in their mind which generates so many things. in their mind. So when the childhood goes, so then a stage comes, then we have to just think about that what is our goal. So I had become serious, it nearly dropped me around the bend. Now that the time has come that I have to be serious about the future, about the present, and about the things which are happening around me, so that I have to just turn myself, because that everything does not remain same at every time, and we cannot do all things at all time. So we have to just adjust ourselves according to the situation. So I still do like the mysterious. This is the message I'm trying to send. So what poet is telling in the last, that once it happens in everybody's life, that situation comes at one point of time, that we have to just turn away ourselves from those things which are not relevant in the present situation or the current situation. So we have to just move as the situation is changing, so that we can stay with that. So I hope that you understood this video. So thank you so much. If you have not subscribed this channel, so please like, share and subscribe this channel. Bye everyone.